Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into a truly mind-bending cosmic mystery. We're going to explore the idea that a single mathematically skipped number might actually dictate the physical shape, the boundaries, and even the mass of our entire universe. It sounds crazy, right? But we're going to see how a tiny arithmetic glitch acts as the ultimate architectural blueprint for reality itself. Let's get into it.
Part 1. The Seed of the Universe.
Okay, so before we even touch complex quantum physics, we have to start with a foundational building block. It's the fraction 1 over n cubed minus 1, all squared. Now, this simple, incredibly elegant fraction is known in the SDMT framework as the fractional monad. You can really just think of it as the ultimate holographic seed. It's like a compact little piece of source code that, when executed, literally generates a massive, universe-scale structure through sequential math. Every single thing we're about to explore unfolds directly from this one algebraic object.
Part 2. The Arithmetic Glitch.
Now, here's where it gets really interesting. When you actually try to calculate that simple fraction, it doesn't just produce a normal, boring string of numbers. It produces a sequence with a very specific structural flaw. In our everyday base 10 math, calculating this generates a sequence of 3-digit blocks, like 000, 001, 002, but then it completely jumps over the number 998 because of a mathematical carryover. Now, if we scale this generator all the way up to a massive base 39 spatial grid, the exact same rendering mechanism applies. Except here, the skipped state is a much larger number, 59,317. If we zoom in and focus on that precise moment of the glitch, you can see exactly how the state 59,317 is mathematically swallowed by the carryover. The active rendering sequence forces a hard, immediate transition directly from 59,316 to 59,318. The number 59,317 is just completely bypassed. It operates like a stroboscopic skip, literally like a missing frame in a movie reel, but embedded right there in the math. So what does this actually mean? Well, because the initial fraction is rational, its sequence doesn't just project off into some infinite straight line forever. The run of sequential blocks is actually finite. After that first mathematical carryover swallows our number, it forces a +1 reset, snapping the entire sequence right back to 0. This means reality, at least in this model, isn't some flat infinite plane. It actually loops in a closed periodic cycle.
Section 3. The Klein bottle topology.
Let's move from these flat numbers into three-dimensional geometry to see what this glitch actually looks like in space. In a base 39 grid, that skipped number 59,317 corresponds to the spatial coordinate 38, 38, 37. This is defined as the striction joint. And listen, this skipped block isn't just an error, it's an absolute physical boundary. It represents a point of maximum thixotropic shear stress. Think of it kind of like a mixture of cornstarch and water. You know how it suddenly turns solid when you punch it? It's exactly like that. It's the precise coordinate where the fluid nature of the grid completely gels up, refusing to allow any further sliding.
And because the grid can't slide forward at that striction joint, the skipped state basically acts as a topological hinge. The mathematical carryover behaves exactly like a Mobius twist, taking the opposing edges of space and folding the boundary right back onto itself. The result? Our closed bounded universe actually functions as a non-orientable Klein bottle. This simple little math glitch literally twists space into its fundamental shape.
Section 4. Hosting the standard model. Okay, let's bring this abstract geometry a bit closer to home. How does this continuous loop actually host physical matter? Well, the fractional monad doesn't just magically create mass out of thin air. Instead, it generates a valid, discrete numerical address space. It basically lays down the foundational geometry, the structural strata, if you will, upon which particle masses can exist as specific eigenvalues. It's very much like distinct resonant frequencies vibrating on a guitar string. The entire mass hierarchy is hosted directly by the grid. And it gets better because when we map this out, the structural resonances align perfectly with the particles we already know about. The electron, for instance, sits firmly at coordinate k = 18. Further down, the elusive Higgs boson is redefined here, not as just some random particle, but as a highly specific coordinate resonance located exactly at k = 23. The entire physics of the standard model is embedded right there into the geometry of this base 39 math. Finally, Section 5, the water molecule proof. Now, theory and abstract math are super fascinating, but we need some concrete evidence to bring this crashing back to reality, right? Well, We can actually calculate the geometric consequences of our base 39 lattice in 3 simple steps. Step 1, we take the basic angular step of a 39 base system, which is roughly 9.23 degrees. Step 2, we filter that through the specific striction angle created by our missing number boundary. And step 3, this outputs a highly specific, scale-invariant projected angular shift of about 5.27 degrees. Ultimately, this creates a theoretical mass gap of roughly 5% across the entire geometry. This right here is where the theory actually hits the physical world. That theoretical 5% gap we just calculated, it perfectly matches the observed physical deviation in a real-world water molecule. See, a perfect theoretical tetrahedron should have an angle of 109.47 degrees, but actual physical water measures 104.5 degrees. This physical deviation is absolute proof that the abstract math is manifesting physically in the molecular structures all around us. To put that into perspective, let's look at the numbers side by side. The measured physical deviation in water creates a relative gap of about 4.76%. Now, our calculated gap, which is strictly derived from the L39 lattice geometry and that one single skipped number, is 5.04%. That is a striking isomorphism. It strongly suggests that the bent angle of the water you drink every single day is a direct physical projection of the mass gap caused by the arithmetic glitch we started with. So, what does this actually mean for the whole concept of mass itself? Well, when a wave of energy hits our striction boundary, the energy doesn't just dissipate, it forces a network reset. The perceived weight of the universe, this 1 Hertz macroscopic mass gap, is simply the computational overhead of the mathematical network constantly resetting itself at this geometric boundary. I want to leave you with a completely provocative quote directly from the source material. It says, "The universe is not composed of passive, heavy mass. It is a dynamic rendering engine whose weight is the overhead of its own reset." I mean, wow. It completely flips our traditional understanding of physics, suggesting that our physical reality might just be a continuously executing mathematical cycle. What if the entire physical world around you is literally just the weight of a cosmic computer catching its breath? Think about that for a bit, and we'll see you next time.